My name's Jeff Burns. I'm CEO of Affiliated Development. With my partner Nick Rojo. So I want to thank everybody for coming out. Thankfully the weather's cooperated thus far. We purposely scheduled it at 3 o'clock on a Friday because we're all about having a good time, and wanted everybody to peel out of work a little early and come celebrate this important milestone with us. So once complete, the Grand is going to offer 309 apartment units. 206, a minimum of 206 will be offered to folks in the workforce category, giving our most cost-burdened renters an opportunity to live in a Class A product. So this journey began back in early 2019. My partner Nick and I, along with the help of Anthony Fasano, started assembling all of the properties you see around here. There was 18 different properties with 9 different land sellers. It was challenging. But we got it done. No small feat. We were forced into a position where we actually had to close on all these properties within 60 days in order to be successful in getting them. That was a little gut-wrenching. So, for those of you that don't know, Affiliated Development specializes in mixed-use, multifamily development. Our projects have 2 things in common, or something in common on every deal. The 2 things are, number 1, redevelopment, which is one of the core beliefs of our community, or of our organization, is to go into communities that are generally overlooked for investment and make big investments. The second is housing. Obviously, where we sit today, the housing situation is constantly changing, and we feel obligated to help address it. In order to do so, it becomes a challenge because in order to build a Class A product and offer it at rents that people can afford, it requires a tremendous amount of incentives, and that's obviously where the city's been able to come in, and that's required in order to make these deals financially feasible. So many of you probably know Harvey Oyer. Where is Harvey? I'm calling him out. There he is, right there. All right. So Harvey Oyer. just wait.
A family operation.
So aside from being one of the most genuine and hardworking guys in the business, I think many of you can attest that he's also very direct. So right before we were getting ready to go hard on millions of dollars to buy this property, I called Harvey, and I wanted to feel good. I wanted to feel good about what we were doing. I wanted a little bit assurance. So I called Harvey and said, listen, getting ready to shell out all this money on this property, and we're trying to do this big great project here. I mean, what do you think? And Harvey says, well, I think you're crazy. I said, really? He says, well, let me see if I can get this straight. So we've got 3 different zoning districts, mostly residential. We need a rezone, which is going to require a comprehensive plan amendment. You're going to need roughly just over $10 million of funding from the city, and you're going to have to bring in about $70 million of investment to an area that's not historically seen that kind of private investment. I said, well, yeah. He goes, okay, I was just checking. He says, knock yourself out. So as you can see, we're here today. We decided to go forward with it, and I can tell you the reason for that. And it's because it was the right thing to do. Sometimes the hard thing to do is the right thing to do, and in this case, it was definitely challenging, and it required an awful lot from a lot of people. So one of the most unique things about what our organization does that not a lot of other developers do is we take a lot of time trying to understand the community. That's important. A lot of developers go into these communities not living there. This isn't our community. We don't live here, right? We didn't grow up here. So it's important that you understand the fabric and the background and the history that took place. You got to understand the people that live here and give them an opportunity to understand what it is that you're looking to do and get feedback. And give them an opportunity to express their opinions so that you can create a project that everybody's proud of. I can tell you that one of the reasons why we decided to go forward with this investment is because of the people in this community. We spent just about a year, Nick and I, nights, a lot of times, meeting with individuals privately or at community events And for us, that was important. You know, we wanted to ultimately create a project that everybody could be proud of, and hopefully we can accomplish. Hopefully we can accomplish that. Within that, we got to meet a lot of really great people. I saw Boz here, Stud Still family, Nivea, her husband, Gene, just tremendous people, and we're here for the long haul, and I hope that we can continue to help build this community together. So, with that, I would like to take a minute to recognize a handful of people and organizations that have had a hand in this project thus far. I've always taken the position that development is a team sport. This cannot happen without everybody here, and I thank you. So if I don't mention your name or your organization, please forgive me. There's a lot of you that have been involved, and you know who you are. I want to start with Harvey. Harvey was one of the first people we met here, and as many of you know, Harvey cares an awful lot about this community and wanted to make sure that we did the right thing. So he was a good accountability sounding board for us, and you know, a big part of our team. MSA Architecture is our architecture firm. They've designed a number of different projects here in the city, and continuing to do so. This will be our second project together. We're very happy to have them on board. Chris Hagan with Kimley Horn. Rick Rakinis, many of you know Rick, obviously a public servant for many years here, and runs a great organization, and he's been a valid part of this process. CID Design Group, Rhett Roy Landscape Architecture. The Castle Group is our property management company. They're a local group. Where this will be our fourth project working together. They understand us and all of our needs. We have lots of them, but just a terrific organization. We've been very pleased to work with them thus far. Bank United. So Bank United put together a lot of money for this thing, and Raul and Patty, we appreciate you guys, your commitment to the community and to Affiliated. This will be our second project working together. Very thrilled. Of course, Moss and Associates. So this will be our fourth project building with Moss. It's a very personal business. Luckily, we have a very personal relationship with them. They're the best in the business. You guys are going to see magic happen over here. They move very quickly, and it's going to be something to see. West Palm Beach Police Pension. So one of the unique things that we do as an organization is we have our own equity. Our equity is comprised of various pension funds, police and fire public plans throughout South Florida. The West Palm Beach police plan is an investor in this project, which I think says volumes. These guys are investing in their own community, their retirement money, and I think that's pretty remarkable. Jack Frost is here somewhere, Jack in the back there, and we thank them for the confidence that they placed in us, and of course our partners at Targa. You know, this will be our third deal together, and love doing business with friends. Lastly, I'd like to say our city, CRA, and the leaders of West Palm Beach. I want to thank you guys so much. Actually, this all kind of began with Nick and I. We met Armando. What was it? It's been a while, right? Yeah. So Armando's like, "Man, come up here and do a project. What you guys are doing is great." And so it all kind of built from that conversation, and it was really terrific. Allison obviously did a wonderful job helping you know, put the financing together on this thing. And then of course, you know, Jennifer with HCD. Any of you that know Jennifer know that she's a doer. In most cases, when we work with government, we're pushing government. She was pushing us, right? And that's pretty remarkable. And the city's very lucky to have her. Mayor James, Commissioner Lambert, Commissioner Peduzzi, Commissioner Fox, Commissioner Warren, and Commissioner Schoaf. This city's leadership is second to none, and it's quite evident given the direction the city's headed in. It's pretty amazing. Mayor Keith James, thank you for being an advocate for this project. We appreciate the confidence that you place in us, and we aim to make you proud. So before I hand it over to Nick here, I want to just say this is a great day you know, we got to celebrate the small victories in this business. We've got a lot of work to do, right? And you can hear some of that work in the background. So I look forward to the next step, which is a ribbon cutting. With that, I'll hand it over to Nick.
Thanks, Jeff. So for many years, Jeff was hassling me about doing a project here because he'd say, Nick, you're from West Palm Beach. You kind of grew up here. You live here. Why can't you find any land? Let's do a project here. And I say, Jeff, the land's either owned by some billionaire who's not going to sell it to us, or we're going to have to assemble all these sites. And for those of you who know us and how we operate together, you know, Jeff kind of throws out the crazy ideas, and I kind of throw shade on them. But so one day, our contractors, our partners at Moss, were touring us through the beautiful Parkline building they built up the street. And we're up on the penthouse floor looking at the views, and we see the views south, and we see, you know, downtown and the ocean, and then we look north. Jeff points and says, Nick, what is that? And he's pointing to the northwest and this piece of property. And I explained to him some of the challenges, you know, historically there hadn't been a lot of investment here. And the fact that, you know, from preschool to high school, I went to school in the city of West Palm Beach. I drove through this area every day, and I didn't see any change. I went away to college. I, you know, worked up north for a while. A decade later, I moved back here into the city, and still, you know, there wasn't a lot of change. So, you know, eventually, when we really spoke with the elected officials and the community and the local businesses, we said, you know, we're a mission-based organization. This deal makes a lot of sense for us, and we're going to make a go at it. So, we really realized that without the help of all the local businesses like Nivea up the street, Darren Studstone, his family here, we wouldn't be here. So when Jeff said we spent a lot of time here, we really spent a lot of time here trying to get to know the community. And this is really a unique opportunity for us to come into this area, help be a positive, you know, growth for change. And we're extremely excited to lead that change. And that really does coincide with our mission statement of doing good while doing well. So with that said, I'd like to turn it over to somebody who, without his support, we wouldn't be standing here today. Under Mayor James's leadership, we've all witnessed, you know, unprecedented growth in the city of West Palm Beach. I mean, all you have to do is look around. But what's important to recognize is that growth isn't just happening at the top. That growth is happening for everybody, and this project is evidence of that. So, Mayor James, I'd like to introduce you and come up here.
Thank you, Nick, Jeff. Wow, what a great day. Good afternoon, everyone. You know, you do this enough times, people finally get it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But I thought I was in the wrong room when the first positive comments that were stated by Jeff was about a lawyer. You know, that's Harvey, that has never happened before. Anyway, welcome everyone to the groundbreaking for the Grand. As you heard a little bit of the history, today is an incredibly special day and indeed a historic one for the city of West Palm Beach. Today, we celebrate the most transformative project in the history of our historic Northwest neighborhood, and perhaps one of the most transformative projects in our city's history. The $81 million workforce housing project marks the single largest investment in the historic Northwest. Let me repeat that. This $81 million project represents the single largest investment in the historic Northwest. Jeff, Nick, thank you for believing in the city of West Palm Beach. On behalf of a grateful neighborhood, one that has been so often overlooked in the past, thank you also for believing in our historic Northwest. Words cannot express my appreciation to you both and to the affiliated development team for bringing this truly incredible project to our city and to this neighborhood. Congratulations on today, and thank you. But as these gentlemen alluded to, the Grand, this project celebrates a successful collaboration between public and private entities to address both redevelopment and housing. In December of 2019, the city's Community Redevelopment Agency and the city's Housing and Community Development Department awarded affiliate development $15 million in funding incentives to help finance the project. Most of you are already familiar with the Grand, but for those who aren't, let me share with you just a few of the many things that make it great. Located here in downtown West Palm Beach, between 2nd and 3rd Streets along Rosemary Avenue, the Grand is within walking distance of office complexes, shopping, dining, entertainment venues, as well as the stations for Brightline and Tri-Rail. The Grand supports the city's efforts to build stronger neighborhoods and better connections for residents between their home and their job. The 8-story building will offer 301 1- and 2-bedroom apartments and 9 3-bedroom townhomes, all of which will contain luxury finishes, luxury features, and luxury amenities. Truly a Class A development. And there will also be commercial space on the first floor. Offering rents the average resident can afford, this project supports the city's efforts to address the nationwide housing crisis by increasing our inventory of workforce housing. Additionally, it will offer housing with the needs of the immediate community at the forefront. The developer intends to pre-market the rental units to current residents of the historic Northwest, to first responders, and to teachers. This project will also create a number of job opportunities for residents. The developer intends to require future commercial retail tenants to utilize best efforts in hiring employees from within the historic Northwest neighborhood. All of these attributes are aligned with my vision of making West Palm Beach a what? A community of opportunity for all. See, y'all haven't heard me speak that many times. You should have been right there, but you weren't. But that's all right. A community of opportunity for all. And by that I mean a city in which anyone, boy, girl, man, woman, can find something in a city that will help them realize their personal dream. Indeed, perhaps one day someone will realize their dreams of housing right here at the Grand. So as some of you might know, the city's 503 initiative aims to have under construction or complete 500 units of workforce or affordable housing in 3 years. I actually announced this initiative as a 303 in January 2019, and we blew the roof off of that goal, so we changed it to 500. And I'm proud to announce that with today's groundbreaking, blowing through the 500. As of yesterday, we had under construction or completed 338 workforce or affordable housing units, and it met 67% of the goal. So, with the addition of the Grand's 206 workforce housing units under construction, we will have achieved a grand total of 544 workforce or affordable housing units under construction or complete in less than 3 years. Now, today would not be possible if not for the efforts and support of so many. I want to take a moment to acknowledge some of the people who are helping to make this project possible. First, of course, thank you to our city commissioners who remain incredibly supportive of the city's housing initiatives and determined, like me, to see more workforce and affordable housing in our city. Commissioner Kelly Shove, District 1. Ms. Kelly. Commissioner Shalonda Warren, District 2. Commissioner Christy Fox, District 3. And Commissioner Christina Lambert, District 5. President Joe Peduzzi wasn't able to join us today. Don't clap for him because he wasn't here, so he don't get a call. But you can tell him I mentioned his name. I also wish to recognize our Community Redevelopment Agency, which is led today by Christopher Rugg, and also by Deputy Redevelopment Manager Allison Justice. Allison. The city's Housing and Community Development Director, Jennifer Ferriero, who you'll be hearing more from later, but you can clap for her now too. the city's Development Services Department, including Director Rick Green and Anna Maria Aponte. Are they here? Clap for them. And to our negotiation team, Deputy City Attorney Nancy Urchek and Assistant City Administrator Armando Fana, who I guess was responsible for all this way back when. Thank you, Armando. You had a vision. I want to reflect for a moment as I sit down on the significance of the day and exactly what this project will mean for this community. At the end of the day, it's all about people and lives that we will be able to change for the better. It's all about the families that will have a beautiful place in which their children can grow and thrive. It's all about the workers who will soon have expanded access to their jobs. And it's all about the historic Northwest neighborhood, whose strength, resiliency, and vibrancy are ensured with this project. I'm so excited about what this project means for the future of the historic Northwest. Congratulations to everyone involved. So with no further ado, I will introduce to you a friend to everyone, a stranger to no one, Jennifer Ferriero.
As many of you know, one of the primary functions of what I'm responsible for overseeing is the creation of affordable and workforce housing. And the demand continues to grow. There's an immense need for these types of units as the wages are simply not keeping up with the cost of housing. And while we're celebrating here today, and we make it look easy because we're kind of okay at what we do, it's actually a really hard job. It's extremely hard, and there are so many barriers that we have to overcome. Land is limited, and therefore it's expensive. Development costs are expensive, and because there are restrictive lower rent units, it's not enough to cover what those expenses are. Subsidies are limited, they are very competitive, and they're very restrictive. Financing structures are extremely complicated. There's all these federal, state, local regulations that are nuanced, land development regulations, and so forth. So to make a long story short, I can go on and on. There's a lot of different factors that have to come together just to get us to this point. And every factor, and even when you overcome all of those factors, there's often public opposition, and that can cause delays, or, you know, in practice, just put all a roadblock to getting us where we want to be. How many of you think that in this room that we faced a little bit of those challenges in this project? Can I get a raise of hand? Well, we faced all of those challenges with this project, yet we are here today, and it took a great amount of effort, immense amount of coordination and alignment, but we are here, and that deserves a huge hand of applause, please. So Jeff and Nick, I've said it millions of times and I'll say it again, you walked your talk and you delivered. And you know, you kept your promise to the city, you kept your promise to the residents, and you were extremely diligent, sometimes too diligent, Harvey Oyer, and but you got it done, and here we are. So I have utmost respect for both of you, and congratulations. Mayor James, your vision and the prioritization of housing and affordable housing is the foundation that got us here. So without your vision and leadership, we would not be here today. So thank you for entrusting me to help you lead in that vision, and thank you again for being such an advocate of affordable and workforce housing. To our city commissioners, your support, ongoing support, just makes my job that much easier. And again, you're also advocates of the work that we do, and our residents are very, very lucky to have a governing body that cares so much about their needs. So thank you. Thank you for that. To my colleagues who were on the front lines with me and working through all the negotiations and all these nuances and challenges, many of whom the mayor and Jeff spoke about and alluded to, thank you so much. You guys are rock stars. We have such a great time working and working together, and there's a lot to overcome, and it's always nice when you have to work with people that you respect. So I have the utmost respect for all of you, and thank you for all that you do. And just lastly, I just want to say just how excited I am for the residents of this community, right? This project is going to undoubtedly bring monumental change and really bring additional investments to this area. So this community has been waiting for a project of this nature for a really, really long time. And from my perspective, I'm just simply honored to be here to celebrate with all of you. So thank you all, and have a great weekend. think this is the time where I introduce Allison.
Thank you, Jennifer. So now that the mayor's spoken and Jeff and Nick and Jennifer, I really don't have anything left to say, but I have some notes anyway. So my name's Allison Justice. I'm the Deputy Director of the West Palm Beach CRA. Chris Rugg sends his congratulations. He couldn't be here today. He's the Executive Director. I would also like to acknowledge the Mayor and Commissioners here. This project really is very important for this community, and it's important to the city and this agency. And Nick and Jeff, you were a pleasure to work with. I know that we all sat for hours, probably more hours than you would have liked to negotiating this, but that's what you do when it's important, and you get across the finish line. So thank you and congratulations. Just from a CRA perspective, you know, this project really represents what we do. The Community Redevelopment Agency has invested over the last 5 to 10 years about $20 million a year in this community, with the reconstruction of Banyan Boulevard, Tamarind Avenue, 7th Street, the new Heart and Soul Park, the Sunset Lounge, and investments with the businesses. This is what we do to build the infrastructure in a community, to bring guys like Jeff and Nick to the table and that private investment into this community. And you know, thank you for that. This really solidifies what the Community Redevelopment Agency does, and finally brings this private sector in. I'm gonna put Jeff and Nick on notice just a little. They've already mentioned the countless meetings they had with the community, and I see so many people out here from the community that I've, you know, haven't seen in a while since COVID, but, you know, maybe virtually, but, you know, Darren and Boz and Nivea and, you know, all of the, Teresa and Debbie, all the people in this community that really care to come out and talk to the developers and really make sure that what's being built is good for this community. And they all did that. Bill, I see you back there. But it's not over. I mean, you know, we've had the meetings with the community. We're going to build this building. It's not over with this community. And I would just encourage you, you know, and I know you will, keep communications open with the residents. This is going to be a great opportunity for a place for some residents to live, to potentially open businesses. I know you've got some space in there for the community, so you know, it's just started with the community, and I think this is the opportunity that the Historic Northwest needs. It's in line with the Stolen Lee report and the plans that the community this community developed many years ago. So congratulations, thank you, and with that, I believe Chris Moss maybe, or Chad. I'm sorry.
Thank you. It's our pleasure being here. This is our 4th project with Affiliated, and we're super excited. Moss Construction is a family-owned business, and we take our reputation very seriously, and we like working with very qualified developers, and we like working with cities and the surrounding area. To keep it brief, we're going to work swiftly and safely, and safety is very important. We have a lot of neighbors around in the area. We want to make sure we coordinate with them, talk to them, communicate with them as things happen. The maintenance of traffic is going to be a big deal around the property as well too. We want to make sure we cover that as well too. At the end of the day, we're also in construction creating jobs. Probably 1,000 jobs will be created on site here, and that's very important for the community. As our West Palm Beach office is just down the street over by the Brightline station, we'll be working out of there quite a bit as well too. So we're really excited to get this thing going. So thank you very much for having us today.
All right, so that concludes all of this.
Time to have fun.
Yeah, exactly. Time to have fun. I encourage everybody to stay, hang out, have a drink. We've got food, mingle. Darren's got a little speakeasy. No, okay, no. Forget I said that. We might go over there, and yes, and then we're gonna go throw some dirt over here. So we'll move over this way.